Well, friends, it's Tony Award week. Let's get into it. Have I ever done the deep dive on my feelings around the Tony Awards? My very, very complicated feelings around the Tony Awards. I have a feeling I've gotten into a lot of this. Starting with from as early as I knew what Broadway was. And this totally relates to my alcoholism, for which you all know I'm in sobriety for quite some time now. Understanding that for me, my addiction is not about alcohol. It's about overreaching for things outside of myself to fill a hole that can never be filled. And for me, from a very early age, honestly, I felt like the Tony Award, you know the game of Operation with the man where you have to pull out the wrenched ankle and the butterflies in the stomach. I honestly feel like the God-sized hole in me is the size and shape of a Tony Award, and if you put the Tony Award right here in the center of my chest, I will be someone. So I really think that as an actor, that was my goal, was a feeling of, I am less than, something's wrong, I'm not enough. But if you give me that prize, I will be someone. I also see that it would have been a weapon to use to keep people back. Stay the hell back from me. I've got this award. Don't you know who I am? I really do think that that was a thing for me. So being in the industry now for many, many years, and seeing it for what it actually is has changed my perspective on that. Doesn't mean I wouldn't love to have that honor. But it is not going to, the next morning I still have to get up and feed the cats, you know? So I see that as well. I also very much understand that. Why do we do award shows? Not just the Tonys, but any and all award shows. Is it actually about the best? No, not in my opinion. This is all my opinion. This is about selling Broadway to America and the world. Hey everybody, this is what we have on display this year. So come on down and buy a ticket. So the way to do that is to tout the best this, the best this, the best this, or at this moment, nominated for best. So that's how we do that, okay? So really the idea of best, you have to look at seasons where you'll have a show like, and I know I've talked about this, I'm making this up, the details of things like a season where The Music Man is up opposite My Fair Lady. That's probably inaccurate, but both of them are not going to be the best musical, but when we look back over history, classics, right? So best has to be the best musical as determined by a relatively small nominating committee of what we have on display this particular season, and then voted on by a slightly larger but still relatively small Tony voting committee of what they consider to be the best of this particular season. Now also remember, when it comes to voting, a lot of your Tony voters are not local, they are regional voters. So they are not necessarily voting for, I think this is the best musical. They're voting for, I think this is the best musical for my market, Pittsburgh. So that doesn't mean that the best thing this season will necessarily win as much as the thing that might sell best in my market. There are examples that I've been told, things like the year that Avenue Q was up against Wicked for Best Musical, the producers of Avenue Q campaigned hard, saying, if you give us Best Musical, we're coming on tour to your city. Okay, they won over Wicked. Everyone was shocked. Now, both of those are very quality shows, but Avenue Q ain't running anymore. Wicked's running forever. Avenue Q wins. They turned around and said, you know what, we're not coming on tour immediately. First, we're going to go to Vegas, but thanks. So there is that element, too, that you have to always factor in of this idea of best. Okay, so now here we are again this season. I'll talk for me. I am one of the people, and I know many others, who have had a real problem with the Broadway League, who produces the Tonys, and it is their ball game. Throughout this whole pandemic, and how are we really going to look at Black Lives Matter? Are you going to make a blanket statement saying, yeah, we agree, bye? What are we doing about equality and inclusiveness and inclusivity on Broadway, on stage and off? And are we really going to address this? And the League has been very tone deaf in a lot of ways. Actors Equity has been very tone deaf in a lot of ways about a lot of these issues. So here we come to Tony Award season again. And there's been a big push this week of a lot of people being very up in arms, and I'm with them, saying the Tonys have absolutely no plan that we are aware of including or acknowledging all the understudies and swings who have gone above and beyond to get the show on during this whole fucking pandemic when it was the show must go on. Even if it's 3 people and a sock puppet, we're going to do the skit for you. Everybody clap. And I've had a real problem with that because, honestly, thanks for the half-baked cake. You did such a mobile job. It's almost edible, but thank you. I don't feel that way. I feel like I want to see the opening night performance of the show. Not there are 14 people out and look at this one over here holding a script, but thank God they did it for us. How brave. That's just a money grab. Sorry, that's a money grab. But we did that. And so much of that was about the brave swings and understudies who stepped up, saved the show, with very, very little acknowledgement of all the backstage people who did the same thing. That's just standard operating procedure. Okay. So this weekend, there's been a lot of push from people in Actors Equity saying there's no plan to talk about the swings and the understudies this year, especially this year. That seems very tone deaf and rude, and I agree. But I had to point out in a tweet this morning, let me just remind you that that's the way all of us that work off stage are treated all the time. It is rare on the Tony Awards that there is an acknowledgement of the hundreds of us in other departments making the show go on because the show must go on. It is really not... I thought I knew that guy. Let me get off my soapbox for a second. It's really not talked about. It's about the actor faces. And I also understand that that's how we sell the tickets. It's the actor faces. But there's a fuck ton of us working our butts off and also did a fuck ton of work to keep this pandemic going of like, can you come in right now and pick up these notes for a track that you've never done and get the show on tonight? Thank you. We are down people. We are down people. We have all done this. So the fact that there will be no acknowledgement of all the offstage people that did that, it's the rare occasion when an actor wins an award on the Tonys and thanks their dresser, or the wig person, or possibly stage management. Sometimes they acknowledge the casting director. These are people that aren't even in the building, but there's a ton of people behind them that are making this happen, and a lot of those people do not get acknowledged. It's really about my fellow castmates and my agent, and I don't want to make blanket statements and curse you actors. I'm not meaning to do that. I'm just saying it is a big, big, big circle that makes a show happen, and it's really seldom acknowledged. Anybody that isn't downstage center is seldom acknowledged. So, okay, while we're all getting on a soapbox about what the hell, they're not even going to honor the swings and understudies who saved Broadway this season, and truly they did, so did I, so did we. It would be nice if we were part of that too. We won't be. It's been fun to be at A Strange Loop, the show nominated for 11 Tony Awards, and I wish them just the best, but I also know from some of the people there and from other people I've known who have been nominees and been in shows that were nominated, they're exhausted at this point. It is a thrill, it is an honor, it is also I just want to do my 8 shows a week and take a goddamn nap. Because what happens is the producers, because this is money, the producers are asking all of them, how you doing? They're not asking how you're doing. They're asking, are you going to dance to the finish line for us, pony? Come on, trot, pony, trot, trot, pony, trot. We need you to do your damnedest and maybe win for us, for the money, for the box office, and for my job as well. This all ties into it. So it is a lot of pressure that I know a lot of people, yes, it's a thrill, yes, it's an honor, it'll be such a thrill to perform on the show, and I can't wait till the day after so I can just take a goddamn nap and then start the very next day with just doing my 8 shows a week, doing my job. So, Also, sadly, once again this year, I will not be involved in the Tony Awards. I have worked on 30 Broadway shows, never worked on a show that went to the Tonys. I either got to the show after they had been to the Tonys, or it was a show that wasn't nominated, or we collapsed and folded before there was even a consideration of being nominated for anything. So I've yet to ever work the Tonys. I'd like to do it once. I've been to the Tonys as an audience member. It's not a lot of fun because there's a lot of commercial breaks and all that shit that goes on in between. It's not fun as an audience member. I've been to the best part is the Tony dress rehearsal the morning of the show. That's fun. That's a lot of fun to be part of that experience. So, okay, the Tonys are going to come and go. And honestly, I don't even have plans to see friends in my industry to watch the Tonys this year. I'm going to be sitting on my damn bed by myself with the TV at my feet, eating dinner with Beezy on my lap, watching the Tonys. So anyways, big eye roll about the Tonys, this big, wonderful, major event that I can see it up close and like, yeah. Yeah. Still in all, if you nominated me today, I'd be beyond thrilled. I would thank my dresser. And I would love to have that accolade. Sure, I would. I have very mixed clearly, I have very mixed feelings around the Tony Awards. And I will watch them and I will cry a lot for my friends who are nominated, for the shows that are up there, for just the joy that is Broadway. Here we go. I love what I get to do for a living. I truly do. So, okay. Not this year, not on stage, not off stage, not in the audience, not backstage helping. Not this year. All right, well, let's see what happens next season. Happy Tony Awards. It's an honor just to be nominated.